I? What happened to me? Did I time travel? I've been here for 3 days already, and yet I was so caught up with the things that happened to me, and I didn't bother to.
Good day, ladies. I'm delighted to welcome you all to this assembly. Now, can we call this meeting to order?
Yes, madam.
Your escapades have been circulating around. I'm all ears. Madam, greetings.
Well, apparently, men still believe that we, women, should confine ourselves at home and unworthy of political rights. A gentleman from the National Assembly even said that we do not aspire to exercise such rights. The cause of Greek remains unchanged as well, and we ought to take action in that regard. The status of our household at that time made the women in town problematic. Our families were starving, so an assembly took place to confront the king and demand bread.
King Louis XVI remained inactive at Versailles. People began to starve due to the rising problems caused by the monarchy. Because of this, we marched to Versailles.
Bring back the baker and the baker's wife and the baker's son! Yeah! Bring back the king! Bring back the king! Bring back the king! Bring back the king!
As we set foot on Versailles, King Louis promised us that he would send bread and wheat to Paris. But we also insisted that the royal family accompany us back to Paris.
Flour and bread will be on their way to Paris. Perhaps it's time for everyone to go home.
Your Majesty, there are gentlemen from the Paris Commune.
And what is the people of Paris want?
They wish that the National Guard take charge of the king's personal security.
Is that all?
The Parisians also demand the king's return to Paris.
That requires some thought. It's been a long day. We will discuss this further tomorrow morning.
Well, the decision of the king to demand for the king to come back enrages the assemblage. So, we woke up the fat pig by entering Hotel de Ville and attacked the gods. The life of the royal family was in jeopardy, so the king eventually caved down and obliged with a request.
That's a good start.
Well then, thank you, madam.
However, it wasn't good enough. The Commune still forbade women to be present at its meetings and found it absurd for us to join and listen in the public forum. Our advocacies indeed for equal rights are still ignored.
Indeed, we are disregarded. Although we finally entered to the workforce, men still hold the power to determine our economic well-being.
True enough, we have silently and patiently worked hard for years to obtain the same rights as men. But instead, we received abuse, shame, and despair. Talks can accomplish nothing. The only thing that could grab their attention is our deeds.
Madam,
We established the Women's Social and Political Union. Me and my daughters, we sought for women's voting rights, which the monarchy vehemently opposed, leaving us with no choice but to do public stunts to gain the attention of the parliament in the hopes that they would eventually accord to our demands.
tell us more.
We schedule meetings, make plans jointly, and sometimes separately. We strike officials with eggs, chain ourselves to lampposts,
burn railroads, but most of the time, deliberately destroy public properties.
Votes for women! Votes for women! Votes for women!
We were repeatedly arrested, but we persistently fought for our cause. In prison, we went on hunger strikes, but we remained unheard. We started losing hope, running out of ideas, until a suffragette risks her life. The suffragette, Emily Davison, died with honor. Her death was widely publicized, that reached other regions and continents, which spurred attention in the movement for our women's rights.
I'm sorry for your loss. So am I, but did you reach your objectives?
Yes, we did. At first, voting rights were granted only to women who are above 30. Although it took some time, still, we finally received the same privilege as men, the right to vote and the control over our children.
I deeply hope women will continue to take a stand. Even though it took us so long to get there, we have finally gained the privileges that were taken from us, the rights we were supposed to possess right from the beginning.
We must not put Emily's sacrifice in vain. She opened an opportunity for us and we must take it.
Madam! I discovered a strange woman listening to the session outside.
Make yourself known.
I'm Avery. Okay, hear me out. I also don't know why I'm here. And if I tell you where I'm from, I doubt you'll believe me.
How did you end up here?
What are you doing outside? Are you eavesdropping?
From what on are you?
Is that her clothing you're wearing?
Are those trousers?
A woman in trousers?
You're bruised. Did something happen?
Oh, women, please. Maybe she's an espionage or the like.
Ladies, enough! You, I assume you are not a product of this time. Am I right?
I'm from the 21st century. And like everyone here, I'm also uncertain on how I come here and why. 21st century? Perhaps she's lying.
And how would you justify such clothing?
Avery, take a seat. How and where did you get them? Or perhaps the better query is from who? Listen, if you have been listening to us the entire time, you know what's going on and the purpose of this assembly. Do not fear, my dear. There's just ladies here.
My husband, he...
Those good-for-nothing men.
Shh! Allow her to speak.
Please, carry on.
Ryle, he is a good man. A husband that every woman could ever ask for. Yet not long after our marriage, he became violent. He easily gets irritated by small matters. At first, he only yells at me. Then he gets started to be violent. He comes home intoxicated and blames me for his shortcomings.
Nothing new. It's always been that way.
Not always.
Ladies, please.
It is true. It's not always. Or that's what I thought. In the beginning, he used to beat me at least once a week. Then, it began to occur every other day until it became every day, a routine. He would sometimes grab me by the neck, and if he didn't like the food I prepared for him, he slams me against the wall, and sometimes at the door. When he sees me talking to our guy neighbors, he will forcibly drag me inside the house. He would curse and yell at me, saying that I'm a married woman and I shouldn't be interacting with other men. And
Oh, Avery, we understand how you feel.
I've been there. Some of us do.
Avery, my fair lady.
I feel embarrassed and ashamed considering that all of you have been in a worse situation than I am right now. Yet all of you stands for yourselves.
Avery, you can decide. Nobody else except you has the power to change your situation.
Avery! Avery, I'm already late! How hard for you to make me a cup of coffee?
I'm sorry I overslept. I'm tired of cleaning the whole house last night.
And now you're complaining? That's the only thing I'm asking you to do, and yet you still can follow simple instruction.
Get off me! I did everything you wanted, including the things you didn't ask for. But all you did was blame me when it's clearly your fault why you're miserable. Just like last night.
That's your job as my wife. I only need you to satisfy me while I work for us. Remember that I own you. Know your place, Avery.
Men are idiots for thinking that they were superior to women.
We are powerful because we are women. We love unconditionally. We keep our children and husband dragon to be the finest version of themselves.
Men hold us back. Because women can do more than men did. And women can live without dependency.
You are wrong. I am not your property. You don't own me. You never did, and you never will.